Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, viewers. I welcome you to the show. Today we will be talking about the Middle East, especially the Gaza. As you know that for last almost 2 years, the Israelis are constantly bombing the civilians, the Palestinians, killing children, women, aged people, and they have killed almost over 70,000 so far in the Gaza. Recently, we have seen that there was an effort by the international community, led by the United States, that they want to create a peace over there, the so-called 20 points agenda, which was being floated. But we have seen that in the news, we have seen that the document has been changed on the pretext and the request of the Israeli Prime Minister. The Pakistan has also given a statement that the documents which has been floated by the United States was not the same that was agreed by the Muslim states, including Pakistan, with the American president. So let us see that this so-called peace process is going to protect the Palestinians' life, and will it provide a freedom to the Palestinian people, especially the people living in Gaza. Today, I have a very prominent guest with me, um, Ambassador Munir Akram. He has been, leading and representing Pakistan for years and years at the international fora, especially at the United Nations. Thank you very much, Ambassador, for joining us.
Thank you.
Please kindly tell me, my first question is that the flotilla, where Muslim countries and the international community, including people from the Western states, they were taking food and medicines for the people of Palestine, but they have almost all have been arrested by the Israeli forces. So, what you call it, state terrorism, and will the American president or the U.S. can stop this and release the people who have been arrested by the Israelis?
Well, first of all, this is not the first time that an effort has been made to take a flotilla of food and assistance to the besieged people of Gaza. In the previous, I think, 7 or 8 occasions, the Israelis have done the same thing. That is to capture the flotilla. In fact, in one of the instances, they actually killed people who were in the flotilla. So this is not a new thing, and it was expected that they will do it. This is a complete contravention of international law. They are starving the people of Gaza, and that is a war strategy. So this is just another step in Israel's record of criminality as far as the people of Palestine are concerned.
Mr. Ambassador, do you think that whatever the Israelis have been doing, over the decades in Palestine, and especially recently, we have seen how they have been, attacking, other than the Palestinians, they have attacked almost all the neighbors during this, conflict, the recent conflict which is going on, and the Iranian, they have also attacked Iran, and then recently they have also attacked, the Kuwait. So, what do you think that the Israelis have been given a free hand by the Americans? Because when the American president himself is standing at the UN and criticizing the UN for not, bringing a peace in the world, and he says that I am taking this credit to stop, wars in the world. So what does it mean that the Israelis are, they have got all the freedom to erode the international laws and international norms in the world?
Yes, they have got the full backing of the United States. The United States has exercised 6 vetoes since this war started in October 2023. in vetoes in the Security Council. So obviously, the United States fully supported Israel, and even where the United States was itself hesitant, the Israelis have done whatever they wanted. Netanyahu has done whatever he's wanted, and the Americans have not been able to stop him. And that is because of the power that the Israeli lobby exercises in the United States politics. So, yes, Israel has acted with impunity because of the support and protection of the United States and the supplies from the United States that it has continued to receive throughout this war. So, yes, the answer is very obvious here.
So there are double standards.
More than double standards. There are triple and quadruple standards that are applied in international relations. But in this case, these double standards and triple standards are quite glaring and obvious to the world.
Mr. Ambassador, what's your opinion? The recently agreed 20 points, peace proposal, and then Americans, unilaterally they brought certain changes because of the Netanyahu's interference and the pressure on the American administration. Do you see that there is a hope it would bring some kind of a relief to the people of Gaza and the Palestinians?
Well, the first thing is that when a peace plan comes from a party whose position is tilted towards one side, which is the American position, is always tilted towards Israel. So we cannot expect a fair plan. It is always going to be a tilted plan if it emanates from one party which is committed to one side. But be that as it may, this plan has come, and the ball has been put squarely in the court of Hamas. Either you accept it and surrender, give up your arms, or if you don't, we will continue this war, and the killing of the people in Gaza will continue. It's a Hobson's choice for the Palestinians and for the Arab and Muslim world. But this is the choice we are facing. So we have to see what Hamas will do. There is a lot of pressure on Hamas to accept this deal, even though it's not a fair deal. It's a one-sided deal. But there's a lot of pressure because if they don't, the killing continues in Gaza. And this is the brutal reality that we are facing.
Well, if it is one-sided, how the Muslim states, which was holding a negotiation with the Trump, they agree to it?
Well, I don't know the details. I was not in the negotiations, so I can't say exactly what was discussed. But it is apparent that the Arab and Muslim countries pleaded for a ceasefire. They pleaded for humanitarian assistance to be provided to the Palestinian people, and they pleaded for reconstruction of Gaza and a move, progress towards a two-state solution. I think these were some of the elements that were publicized. But obviously, this plan has some of these elements, but the conditionality of the plan is on Hamas's surrender. And that is, of course, something that was not negotiated with Hamas. And therefore, Hamas has a choice now to either accept the plan, which means to surrender their weapons, seek amnesty, or go into exile, or face a continued war. And therefore, I think the Muslim world has limited capabilities to pressure the Israelis, but this is the deal that has been offered to them. It is not a fair deal. It is one-sided. But the option of not accepting the deal is the continued slaughter of the Palestinians in Gaza.
Mr. Ambassador, how you see the role of Hamas in the entire situation when they kidnapped the Israelis, and in consequence to that, we have seen that over 2 years, the Israelis are killing the Palestinians.
You see, I think, obviously, I think Hamas made a big mistake by conducting the 7th October operation. They should have evaluated the relative military strength of the two sides. The Israelis have tremendous military power. Hamas was depending on support from other friends such as Hezbollah and the Houthis and Iran and so forth. But if there was a cold-blooded evaluation had been made, it would have revealed that the Israeli military power is much larger, and you gave Netanyahu an excuse to conduct this brutal war, to kill 65,000 Palestinians, injure 150,000 Palestinians, destroy not only Hamas to a large extent, but Hezbollah to displace the Iranians from their place and to bomb them. So I think this attack of the 7th of October, frankly, honestly, must be seen as a big strategic error by Hamas.
Mr. Ambassador, how you see the Pakistani role, the Prime Minister role, and the Field Marshal role in the present situation when Pakistani leadership was in New York?
Well, I think we have tried to fulfill what we see as our obligation as an Islamic country to the Palestinian people to try and stop this war, to stop the starvation that is happening in Gaza, to try and help in the reconstruction of Gaza, to try to help the creation of a two-state solution. But our capabilities, we are not an immediate neighbor. We are at a distance. So our capabilities in forcing a solution are limited. Uh, we obviously, the war is not an option for us. We are not going to go to war. We have our own problems. Uh, but diplomatically, we have tried our best. But we have to realize that our capabilities are limited. We are not a superpower. And we should be cognizant of the fact that we have limited capabilities and we should contribute what we can, but we cannot be more royal than the king. This is a problem that the neighbors of Israel and the Palestinian people themselves have to resolve and to address. And I think we can only play a supporting role. And this is what we have been doing over the last 3 years, supporting them as much as we can. But we cannot assume the responsibility, which is the responsibility of the Palestinian people and the Arab neighbors of Israel.
There have been certain news which were being, you know, published on the social media. Even we have seen in the traditional media as well that, in consequence to this peace process or peace proposal, uh, Pakistan, including some of other Muslim countries, they are going to recognize Israel as a legitimate state. And then naturally, a new debate has started inside Pakistan as well. So, what is your opinion? Do you think that if, let us say, that other Muslim countries which were present in the meeting with the President Trump, they also agree to the same proposal, what choices Pakistan will have?
You see, frankly, it is the American objective, always has been for a long time, the American objective to try to persuade Pakistan, together with other Arab and Islamic countries, to recognize Israel, to join the Abraham, so-called Abraham Accords. And we have resisted that because we have taken a very principled position since the position of the founder of our nation, Qaid Azam, who said we will not recognize until there is a Palestinian state. So we have been, the Americans have made several efforts to persuade us. And I have no doubt that their desire is somehow that we should become involved in a process which would lead all the Arab and Muslim countries to recognize Israel. But our position always has been, and I think it remains the position, that we will only recognize Israel once there is a Palestinian state that is accepted and established as such. And I hope that we will maintain that principled position which we have taken for the last 80 years.
Mr. Ambassador, recently some of the Western countries like the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and some other, they, you know, declared uh, the Palestinian state, and they said that we are going to recognize Palestinian state, and they've also diplomatically established relations, allowing their ambassadors to have their, you know, missions there. So how you see that? Is it a kind of a trap, or is it a kind of just to appease or cool down their own population? Because we have seen a lot of protests against the Israelis in the Western nation. Even today in Italy, there was a kind of a protest against the Israel.
Right. No, I think the Western countries, one, they have come under pressure from their domestic opinion, as you have mentioned, and their domestic opinion has been appalled at the atrocities that Israel is committing in Gaza. And that has changed public opinion in many Western countries in favor of the Palestinians, in favor of stopping this war, in favor of stopping Netanyahu from pursuing this genocidal war. On the, and secondly, there is also a mobilization of international pressure, which the Arab and Muslim countries have led in creating an international pressure on Western countries to point out to this unjust war, to the killing of children and women indiscriminately by the Israeli bombing. So I think the combination of internal and external pressure has persuaded some of the Western countries to come to recognition of the state of Israel. But unfortunately, that may be a good political step for them and for us. But the ground reality has not changed. Ground reality is Israel continues in occupation. Israel continues its war in Gaza. And we have to find a way to stop the Israelis from pursuing this war. And the only way to stop the Israelis is to put direct international pressure on the Israelis. Stop trade with them, stop selling oil to them, stop selling energy to them, stop cooperation with them, put a trade embargo on them, eject the Israelis from the United Nations General Assembly. These are steps that we are capable of taking as a collective. The Islamic countries, the Arab countries together, we can have an impact on what Israel does or does not. But it
But why we
takes,
are not using this power?
I don't, I think that is a question you should pose to the Islamic Arab countries and the international community. We had we have been pushing. I must tell you, I left 6 months ago, but until then, Pakistan was pushing in every corner of the United Nations for concrete action against Israel for these crimes that it is committing. And I think that is the route we will have to take if we are going to get some kind of justice for the Palestinian people.
Mr. Ambassador, a couple of more questions. One is that recently Pakistan has signed a defense agreement with the Saudi Arabia. How you see that on the diplomatic side and as well as on the security side?
Well, this agreement has been under discussion, according to the information I have. This agreement has been under discussion for some time with Saudi Arabia. So I think the impression that it was triggered by
Attack on Qatar.
the attack on Qatar, etc.
Yeah.
It may have been coincidental. It may have contributed to accelerating the accord, but it is a long time under discussion. It reflects the traditional relationship between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia. I think we should see it in the perspective of our bilateral relations and Saudi Arabia's recognition of Pakistan's capabilities to enhance its defense and security. And we should utilize this bilateral agreement to the maximum possible to enhance Pakistan's economic and military and defense security.
Mr. Ambassador, finally, how you see the foreign policy of Pakistan at the moment when, you know, our prime minister and the military leadership, they were with the Chinese as well when they were celebrating their, Second World War success against the Japanese. And then we have seen, having a very close, cordial relations with the Americans as well. So how you see this balance and then the role in Middle East, the present foreign policy of Pakistan?
Well, I think Pakistan is in a good diplomatic situation. I think our strong performance against India in the 4 Day War has enhanced Pakistan's credibility in the eyes of the international community, and we are seen as a serious power, and therefore we are taken seriously in all international forums. We are a member of the Security Council, so we have a role to play in international peace and security. And we have been able to reset the relationship with the United States, which had some difficulties and tensions in the past few years. But I think we must always remember our strategic priorities, and our foreign policy must continue to reflect our strategic priorities and work for them. Our strategic priorities, first of all, is to defend Pakistan against India, both on the eastern side as well as the Indian sponsored terrorism from the western side. That's our first priority, is to preserve our security both in the east and the west. Our second priority is economic and social development. So we have to attract investment. We have to put money into our infrastructure. We have to put money into this, to creating skills for our people, in exploiting our resources. All of that's our second and more important priority. Now, who can help us to achieve those priorities? I think China's role is fundamental, and we in the Foreign Office we have always recognized that China's commitment to Pakistan's sovereignty, territorial integrity is fundamental, is a fundamental foundation on the basis of which we conduct our foreign policy as such. And we must never forget that. That whatever our relationship with other countries, the Chinese commitment to our sovereignty and territorial integrity is ironclad because it is in China's interest, strategic interest. And it is in Pakistan's strategic interest to keep the relationship with China intact and full of trust. So whatever else we do, we should obviously seek investment, trade, etc., with the United States. We should develop good relations with Saudi Arabia. We have close relations with Turkey. We should take advantage of all of those good relationships we have, but never compromise on the fundamentals. And the fundamentals are your security has to be guaranteed against India, and the commitment you have from China is fundamental to the protection of your national sovereignty and security.
Final question, Mr. Ambassador. Do you see that the Indians are going to have elections, in this month or next month, and there was some kind of news or vibes that Modi may, once again commit a blunder uh, on the pretext of some kind of a terrorist, self-proclaimed or self-orchestrated kind of action inside India or inside occupied Kashmir and try to once again come after Pakistan. Do you see any uh, conflict again between India and Pakistan?
Uh, Look, it is my conviction that if ever Pakistan is vulnerable and India can act against Pakistan and exploit any vulnerability we have, they will do it. And therefore, we have to be constantly on our guard about not only attack from the eastern side, which is possible. They have suffered a reversal in the last conflict, in the 4-day conflict. Their pride is hurt, their credibility has been hurt. They will want to re-establish that they are the most powerful country in the region. And, and therefore, they have all the motivation to bring us down, to try to erode Pakistan's sovereignty, territorial integrity. And they will do it from the east if possible, but they are certainly doing it from the west already, from the
Afghanistan.
Balochistan and frontier, the sponsorship of terrorism and sabotage against Pakistan. This is a hybrid war that India has been fighting. I've been saying this for years. India is fighting a hybrid war against you. It's an information war, it's an intelligence war, it's a sub-conventional terrorist war, and it's a conventional war. Uh, Everything that they can do to undermine Pakistan, they will do because we are the obstacle to the ambitions of India to become a great power. And they see it as such, and they will try to undermine us, especially after they suffered this defeat in the last conflict. They will want to redress that perception of weakness, and I am sure they were looking for every opportunity to act against us.
Thank you very much, Munir Akram, Ambassador. It has always been a pleasure talking to you
Thank you.
and getting insights on the Pakistani perspective on the international, relations. Thank you very much, sir, once again.
Thank you.